In the spotlight tonight is Andy Cobley from Sheffield, a computer support analyst, and his specialist subject is mountaineering in the UK. Norman McGregor Edwards from the Isle of Man, a health service manager whose subject is American military aircraft in World War II. Paula Keaveney from Garston, local councillor, and her specialist subject, the Rebus novels of Ian Rankin. And Eliot Wilson from Sunderland, a clerk to the House of Commons, who's taking the life and career of Michael Schumacher. Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. Just those 4 contenders and 1 chair, but 2 rounds of formidable questions. The first round tests their specialist knowledge, of course, and then general knowledge. One of the contenders will go through to the next round, and then, who knows, perhaps the Mastermind final. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Andy Cobley.
Your occupation?
Computer support analyst.
And your chosen subject?
Mountaineering in the UK.
Mountaineering in 2 minutes, starting now. Which Scottish mountain is said to be haunted by a creature known as Umferlia Mór, or the Great Grey Man?
Ben McDwee.
Correct. In 1927, who led the team that made the first ascent of the eastern buttress of Clogwyn Dir Ardhi on Snowdon?
Menlove Edwards.
Fred Pickett. In August 1952, Joe Brown ascended which vertical crack on Dinas Cromlech in Llanberis Pass wearing socks but no shoes?
Cenotaph Corner.
Correct. Which Scottish mountaineer gives his name to the rule to allow 1 hour for every 3 map miles, plus an additional half hour for every 1,000 feet of ascent?
Naismith.
Yes. Near the top of which mountain is a memorial to Charles Gough, who died there in 1805 and whose dog stayed by his body for some 3 months afterwards?
Helvellyn.
Correct. The first ascent of which gully on Ben Nevis by Hamish McGuinness, Graham Nichol and Tom Patey in 1957 is regarded as having been a big breakthrough in British winter climbing?
Point 5 Gully.
No, 0 Gully. What are the names of the trio of very difficult routes that go up the centre of Idwal Slabs in Snowdonia?
Faith, Hope and Charity.
Correct. In June 1911, Alistair McLaren and which other mountaineer completed the first traverse of the Coolin Ridge?
Pass.
The 914-metre-high Gauna Mawr is the highest peak of which mountain, which has also had a famous racehorse named after it?
Arkle.
No, Foinavon. What names are given to the 2 rock pillars at the summit of Travan in Snowdonia?
Adam and Eve.
Correct. Which Keswick brothers were professional photographers whose work helped to popularise climbing at the turn of the 20th century?
The Abraham brothers.
Yes. Which ridge of Sgurnan Gilion was blocked by a gendarme until 1987 when it fell off?
Pass.
What name is given to the sandstone of which Anne Chalach and Lee Agach are primarily composed?
It's Cambrian quartzite.
Torridonian sandstone. Along with Tom Patey and Chris Bonington, who was the other member of the team who made the first ascent of the Old Man of Hoy?
Joe Brown.
Rusty Bailey. The Old West and... Started, so I'll finish. The Old West and Slab and Notch are 2 of the original routes up which Lakeland Crag?
Slab and Notch. Gimmer Crag.
Pillar Rock. You had 2 passes. It was the West Ridge of Schumacher Gillion, and Leslie Shadbolt was the other mountaineer who completed the first traverse of the Coolin. Andy Cobley, you have 7 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Norman McGregor Edwards.
Your occupation?
Health Service Manager.
And your chosen subject?
US military aircraft of World War II.
American military aircraft of World War II. In 2 minutes, which bomber flew its first combat mission on June the 5th, 1944 against the Japanese railway yards in Bangkok?
The B-29 Superfortress.
Yes. What was the K-14 issued to P-51D Mustang squadrons from the second half of 1944?
A parachute.
A gun sight. Which aircraft's most famous missions included the low-level raid against the oil fields at Ploiești in Romania on August the 1st, 1943?
A Liberator.
Yes. Which engineer developed the bomb sight used on many American bombers during the war, including the Enola Gay, which was claimed to be highly accurate?
Norden.
Correct. What was the weight of the normal bomb load of the B-29 Superfortress?
20,000 pounds.
Yes. Which military version of the Piper Cub was used initially by the American Army for spotting and directing artillery?
L3.
L4. Which feature of the Aerocobra's main armament meant that the engine had to be mounted behind the pilot?
It fired through the propeller boss, right through the centre.
Yes. What name was given to the B-24 Liberator after it was redesigned as the PB-4Y for the Navy?
Privateer.
Correct. On the 18th of April 1942, which bombers became the heaviest to operate from a carrier at sea when 16 of them took off from the USS Hornet to bomb Tokyo?
And the B-25.
Correct. What official name was given by the US Air Force to the basic transport model of the Douglas C-47 with large side-loading doors and strengthened floors?
Skytrain.
Correct. Which aircraft began the 8th Air Force's European heavy bombing campaign with an attack on marshalling yards at Rouen on August the 17th, 1942?
The Boston.
No, B-17, or Flying Fortress. What name was given to the Catalina squadrons which performed nighttime missions on Japanese supply routes?
Black Cats.
Yes, along with the removal of the Razorback, which modified canopy improved the all-round visibility for pilots on the P-51D Mustang?
A bubble canopy.
Yes. Which North American trainer plane was known as the Pilot Maker because 75 of the 200 hours of flight time required to earn a pilot's wings were flown in it?
The Cadet.
The T6. No passes, Norman McGregor Edwards, 10 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. And your name is?
I'm Paula Keaveney.
Your occupation?
I'm a local councillor.
And your chosen subject?
It's the Rebus novels of Ian Rankin.
Rebus novels in 2 minutes. Which bar in Young Street, Edinburgh, is the favourite haunt of both Rebus and Ian Rankin himself?
Oh, the Oxford Bar.
Yes, in Mortal Causes, who rescues Rebus from the fire at the Crazy Hose in Tollcross to stop him bringing out Alan Fowler?
Big Cafferty.
Yes. What is the nickname of Rebus's boss, Chief Superintendent Watson, because of his complexion and his background?
Farmer Watson.
Yes, in Flesh Market Close, what's the name of the West Lothian detention centre that was formerly a prison?
A pass.
According to Rebus in Mortal Causes, what does the pathologist Dr. Kurt always say on first examining a body in any sort of condition?
I think it's dead.
No, poor chap's dead. In Strip Jack, the politician Gregor Jack, who's found in an Edinburgh brothel during a police raid, has been the independent MP for which constituency since 1985?
North and South Esk.
Correct. What's the name of the policewoman who's a detective inspector and has a relationship with Rebus in the early novels and has become his chief superintendent in The Falls?
Jill Templar.
Correct. Which football club does Rebus's colleague Siobhan Clarke support in spite of being educated in England?
Hibernian.
Yes, in Dead Souls, what's the name of Rebus's old girlfriend who's searching for a missing son, Damon?
Pass.
Which of the novels has the epigraph, "My devil had long been caged, he came out roaring," which is a quote taken from Robert Louis Stevenson's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Hide and Seek.
Correct. What's written on the note sent anonymously by Rebus that Big Jerk Cafferty is given when he's arrested in the Black Book?
Sorry, pass.
By what nickname is Malcolm Chambers known in Tooth and Nail, which is the only Rebus novel set in London?
It's the Wolfman.
Yes, in The Hanging Garden, which gangster from Paisley attempts to take over Cafferty's activities while Big Jer himself is in Barlinnie jail?
Uncle Joe Toll.
Tommy Telford. In Resurrection Men, the Chief Constable sends Rebus undercover to which Scottish police college to investigate the involvement of the other officers there in the Bernard Johns case?
Tully Allen.
Correct. In which town, known for its ancient chapel, is High Manor, the home of Hugh Cordover and Lorna Grieve in Set in Darkness?
It's Roslyn.
Yes. What had been the occupation of Rebus's father, who passed on his skills to Rebus's brother Michael?
Stage hypnotist.
He was indeed. You have 3 passes. I hope they sell your skin for souvenirs. Was that note sent anonymously by Rebus? Janice Mee is the name of Rebus's old girlfriend, and Whitemire is the name of that detention centre. 3 passes. Paula Keaveney, 11 points. And our last contender, please. And your name is?
Eliot Wilson.
Your occupation?
I'm a clerk to the House of Commons.
And your chosen subject?
The life and career of Michael Schumacher.
Michael Schumacher, in 2 minutes. Schumacher was born in which German town near Cologne on the 3rd of January 1969?
Herthulmelheim.
Correct. In 1991, which driver's imprisonment for assaulting a London taxi driver led to Schumacher making his Formula One debut when he drove for Jordan at Spa?
Bertrand Gachot.
Correct. At which 94 Grand Prix did he qualify in pole position for the first time in his Formula One career?
Monaco.
Yes, who became Schumacher's manager in 1989 and guided his career for more than 15 years?
Willy Weber.
Corrected. Which race that was held in controversial circumstances did he score his only Grand Prix victory of the 2005 season?
The United States Grand Prix at Indianapolis.
Yes, which future Formula One driver was Schumacher's teammate in the Mercedes-Benz sports car team with whom he won at Autopolis in Japan in 1991?
Karl Wendlinger.
Correct. In 94, he received a 2-race ban after ignoring a black flag at which venue?
Silverstone.
Yes, on which circuit did Schumacher race the Ferrari F2003 GA for the first time and enjoy a winning start?
Imola.
Catalunya. What was the name of the formula in which he was the German champion in 1988?
Formula Koenig.
Correct. What was the number on the Jordan that Schumacher drove on his Formula One debut?
Pass.
Which German magazine paid 250,000 Deutschmarks for exclusive pictures of his wedding, money that he gave to UNESCO?
Der Spiegel.
Bunte. At which Grand Prix of 92 did Schumacher achieve his first Formula One podium finish?
Monaco.
Mexico. Who was his teammate during his second full season for the Benetton team in 93?
Riccardo Patrese.
Correct. Who ran the garage in Kerpen where Schumacher completed his apprenticeship as a mechanic after leaving school?
Jürgen Dilk.
Willy Bergmeister. During the first lap at Silverstone in 99, Schumacher had a high-speed crash at which corner and broke his leg, causing him to miss 6 Grand Prix?
Stowe.
Yes. By how many points did he lose the 98 Drivers' Championship despite being level with Mika Häkkinen with only 2 races left?
10.
14. When Schumacher won the Pacific Grand Prix in 94, he lapped the entire field apart from which Ferrari driver who came second?
Jean Alesi.
No, Berger. In 2002, he clinched his 5th Formula One World Drivers' title at which circuit, even though there were still 6 Grand Prix to go in that season?
The Hungaroring.
It was Magny-Cours. 1 pass. The number on the Jordan that Schumacher drove on his Formula One debut was 32. Eliot Wilson, 10 points. So that's the end of the first rounds, the specialist subjects. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 7 points, Andy Cobley. Joint 2nd place with 10 points, Norman McGregor Edwards and Eliot Wilson. Close contest this. In the lead with 11 points, Paula Keaveney. Which takes us to the general knowledge round, and if there's a tie at the end of this one, then the number of passes get taken into account. So let's get on with it, and let me ask Andy Cobley to join us again, if you would, please. And not only do you know a lot about mountaineering, but you've been one yourself and in a mountain rescue service as well. And I mention that because you injured yourself quite badly on one occasion.
I fell off Stonehenge Edge and crushed my right heel. It's a bit embarrassing because I was rescued by Edale team and I happened to be in a rival team, Kinder team.
Who pays for them, all those people who rescue you?
The Mountain Rescue Service relies on donations from the general public. It's not subsidised in any way by the government or any external funding.
I mention it because some people say it isn't right. You know, you decide to do it. You want to go mountaineering.
Yes.
And if you take risks and come to grief, why should anybody else pay for you? And even if that bit of it is free, the RAF or whoever sends up the helicopters, if that's needed, we have to pay for them.
The RAF's involvement and the cost to the general public is a fallacy because the RAF pay for the helicopters to go out on rescue out of their training budget.
So the rescue is a part of the training
the rescue
operation?
is part of training, and it's the best training they can get.
So good practice. 7 points with mountaineering. Let's see how you get on with general knowledge in 2 minutes. Which word for the final destruction of the world comes from the Greek for uncover or reveal?
Armageddon.
Apocalypse. What name is given to a substance that cannot be decomposed by chemical means into simpler substances?
Element.
Yes. Which sea monster of Norwegian folklore, supposedly resembling a giant squid, was described by Erik Pontoppidan, Bishop of Bergen, in his Natural History of Norway, published in the 1750s?
The Kraken.
Yes. With which company did the McDonnell Aircraft Company merge in 1967 to form a new company?
Douglas.
Yes. Which film director is the father of Madonna's baby Rocco?
Pass.
In the old American West, what was prepared on the chuck wagon?
Food.
Yes. Which novel by Elizabeth Gaskell, unfinished at her death, has Molly Gibson, a doctor's daughter, as its heroine?
Cranford.
Wives and Daughters. Near which city is the site of the Battle of Bannockburn?
Stirling.
Yes. Who gave his last ever BBC racing commentary on the 1997 Hennessy Gold Cup at Newbury, won by Sunny Bay?
Pass.
During the American Civil War, the 40 western counties of one state refused to join the Confederacy. Under what name were they granted separate statehood in 1863?
Pass.
The ruddock is a dialect name for which common small songbird?
Thrush.
Robin. Which North African country's major cities include Bizerte, Sfax and Sousse?
Tunisia.
Yes. Who drew on his experiences as an unsuccessful Labour candidate in the '64 general election for his television drama Vote, Vote, Vote for Nigel Martin?
Pass.
Which music of Brazilian origin became popular in the early '60s when songs like The Girl from Ipanema became worldwide hits?
Samba.
Bossa Nova. Sirius is the brightest star in which constellation?
Canis Major.
Correct. Which unelected diplomat did President Chirac appoint as French Prime Minister after the resignation of Jean-Pierre Raffarin in May 2005?
Pass.
Robbie Williams and Nicole Kidman topped the charts at Christmas 2001 with a cover version of which hit for Frank and Nancy Sinatra?
Something Stupid.
Yes. The passes, you had 5 of them. De Villepin was appointed French Prime Minister in May 2005. West Virginia was the new state, as it were. Peter O'Sullivan gave his last commentary in '97. Dennis Potter tried for Parliament in 1964. Guy Ritchie is the father of Madonna's baby Rocco. 5 passes, Andy Cobley, a total of 15 points. And now Norman McGregor Edwards, please. And you're the expert on American military aircraft. It might surprise some people to know, I have just discovered, that we, Britain, still hasn't paid for those World War II aeroplanes that the Americans sort of gave us, except they obviously didn't give them to us.
No, it was a process called Lend-Lease, which provided us with, I think, about 1,000 aircraft, but also ships and tanks and other munitions and so on. And the deal was we paid for them after the war, and I think we're finally due to make the final payment towards the end of this year, or so I understand.
Grief. You know, this sounds a bit mean. I mean, we did sort of fight alongside them, really, didn't we?
Yes, it started off, in fact, while we were still fighting on our own before the Americans came in, before Pearl Harbor. They actually provided aircraft that our industry was incapable of providing. We couldn't provide things in the numbers that we needed. So they were there to sell things to us, and very grateful we were for them as well.
Right, well, let's get on to general knowledge now. You have 10 points. The score to beat at the moment is 15. Let's see how you do. In humans, what name is given to the continuation of nerve tissue from the brain down the spinal column?
The spinal cord.
Yes, from which language spoken by many of the native people of what's now Mexico are the words chocolate and avocado derived?
Quechua.
Nahuatl. What nickname is said to have been given to Beethoven's Piano Sonata No. 14 in C-sharp minor in a review by the poet Rellstab?
Pathetique.
Moonlight Sonata. What general name is given to any of the species of marine mammals belonging to the family Otariidae or eared seals?
Sea lions.
Yes, in November 1989, David Dinkins became the first black mayor of which American city?
Chicago.
New York. Which Dickensian character was sued for breach of promise of marriage by Mrs. Bardell?
Pass.
Martin Newland succeeded Charles Moore as editor of which daily broadsheet newspaper in 2003?
Times.
Telegraph. Which town in Oxfordshire gives its name to a type of currant-filled cake similar to an Eccles cake?
Banbury.
Yes. The rock album subtitled Back Into Hell, released in 1993, was a follow-up to which album released 16 years earlier?
Pass.
With which French city, home of the famous Miramar restaurant, is the classic fish stew bouillabaisse associated?
Marseille.
Correct. Which broadcaster was hanged for treason at Wandsworth Prison on the 3rd of January 1946?
Lord Haw-Haw.
Yes, William Joyce. What's the name of the body of sacred law in Islam governing both religious and secular matters, which is based on Allah's commandments in the Quran?
Pass.
What was the married name of the writer Adeline Virginia Stephen, who committed suicide in 1941?
Plath.
Virginia Woolf. In printing, what name is given to the dagger-shaped mark used to indicate a footnote?
Impesto.
Obolus. The traditional curtain raiser to the football season, the FA Charity Shield, was renamed what in 2002?
Pass.
Which Dutch... Just started. Which Dutch-American astronomer correctly predicted the disc-shaped belt of comets orbiting the Sun just beyond Pluto that was subsequently named after him?
Huygens.
No, Kuiper. You had 4 passes. The FA Community Shield is the curtain raiser. Sharia law I was looking for there. Bat Out of Hell was the forerunner to Back into Hell, and Samuel Pickwick was sued for breach of promise by Mrs. Bardell. 4 passes, Norman McGregor Edwards, 15 points. And Eliot Wilson now, please. Now, you're a clerk to the House of Commons, which means that you are a Crown servant, not a civil servant.
Yes.
So why? Why are you a Crown servant? Is it because you work in the Palace of Westminster?
Yes,
Is that the point?
it's because Parliament sits in what's still technically a royal palace.
And you are a clerk to whom or what?
I'm the second clerk on the Health Select Committee.
Right. One of the things that you're involved in is, your committee's involved in, is talking about a smoking ban.
Yes.
Which is a bit odd, isn't it? Because you can't enforce a smoking ban in the House of Commons, of all places. In the Palace of Westminster, I should say.
The Crown property, which includes the palace, will be exempt from the legislation which is going through.
Doesn't seem quite fair, that, does it, really?
That's a matter for the members, but it's one of the peculiarities of the British system.
So we couldn't make the Queen give up smoking even if we wanted. Even if she did. I don't think she does she?
I'm sure she could go outside.
She'd probably nip out in the garden for a quick fag, couldn't she? If she wanted to.
I think she's got the room.
She has the room, you're absolutely right. You have 10 points. 15 is still the score to beat, so let's see if you can do that with your general knowledge. Which Russian word meaning restructuring came to prominence during the Gorbachev era?
Perestroika?
Correct. Who was the first host of Have I Got News for You from its inception in 1990 till a series of guest presenters took over in 2002?
Angus Deaton.
Yes. In which country's mythology are the Shichi-Fukujin, the 7 gods of good fortune and happiness?
Japan?
Yes. The term for which branch of philosophy that investigates the first principles of nature and thought was originally applied to those writings of Aristotle that came after those dealing with natural science?
Pass.
What was the nickname of King William I, who ruled Scotland from 1165 to 1214?
William the Lion?
Yes. Pete Doherty and Carl Barrett were the founders of which indie rock band?
The Libertines.
Yes. What adjective describes circles or other curves that share a common centre?
Tangential?
Concentric. Which word for a formal neckerchief worn especially by men comes from the French name for the 17th century Croatian mercenaries who wore a scarf in battle?
Cravat?
Yes. Which Scottish-born veterinary surgeon is credited with inventing the modern pneumatic tyre in 1888?
Dunlop?
Yes. Which Briton broke the world javelin record for the first time in July 1990?
Steve Backley?
Correct. Which animal is also sometimes known as an eft?
Pass.
After Darwin, which is the second largest city in the Northern Territory of Australia?
Pass.
What name is given to an outbreak of a disease which affects great numbers of people in one place at a particular time?
An epidemic?
Yes. What word, a combination of gene and chromosome, is used for the total genetic information an individual inherits from its parents?
Pass.
Aaron Pilot and Desiree are varieties of which vegetable?
A potato?
Yes. Which Lancashire seaside resort, named after the bay on which it stands, grew up around the small fishing village of Poulton-le-Sands?
Morecambe?
Correct. The chalumeau was the direct forerunner of which orchestral wind instrument?
The bassoon?
Clarinet. In which film and its sequels does Keanu Reeves play a computer hacker who goes under the name of Neo?
The Matrix?
Yes. Who became the deputy leader of the Labour Party in July 1994 with 56.5% of the votes cast?
John Prescott?
Correct, he did indeed. You have 4 passes. Genome is that combination of gene and chromosome. Alice Springs is the second biggest town in the Northern Territory. And eft is also a newt, believe it or not. And metaphysics is that term that I was looking for, investigating the first principles of nature and thought, and so on. 4 passes, but Eliot Wilson well in the lead at the moment with 23 points. And finally, Paula Keaveney, please. And you are a local councillor
That's right.
in Liverpool?
Yes.
Liberal Democrat?
Yes.
Liverpool City of Culture in
2008.
2008. Why? Why was it chosen, and what does it actually mean to a city?
What it means for the city is just a huge amount. I mean, we're recognised as a heritage centre. We have as more listed
like the
buildings.
Taj Mahal.
Well, it's like we.
I mean,
we
you're
have
in that
been
same list
recognised
now,
as
aren't
a
you?
World Heritage
Yes,
Centre.
yes,
We
exactly.
have more listed buildings than anywhere outside of London. If you came to Liverpool and looked at the centre, you would see expanses of beautiful parks, which I suspect most people wouldn't expect. So it's partly about changing perceptions, but it's also about regeneration and getting people working together and saying, yeah, we're an important place and we deserve the award. I think why we won it wasn't just the politicians having the will, it was because most of the people in Liverpool wanted it. Most of the people in Liverpool wanted this. When Tessa Jowell came up after we won it, people were waiting for her at the station spontaneously, and I don't think you'd see that in most other places.
Right, you have 11 points, and 23 is now the score to beat, which is a formidable challenge. Let's see if you can do it with your general knowledge. Who, as chief engineer of the Great Western Railway, introduced the broad gauge with tracks 7 feet apart to railways in Britain?
Brunel?
Yes, which is Britain's oldest scientific society, having been founded in 1660.
The Royal Society.
Yes, born Franklin Birkinshaw in Worcestershire in the 1930s, which author's often credited with creating the slogan, "Go to work on an egg," while she was working as an advertising copywriter.
Pass.
Which river forms the boundary between Zambia and Zimbabwe?
Zambezi?
Yes, Going Straight was the sequel to which classic television comedy series?
Oh, porridge.
Yes, which dish is said to have been invented in New York City in 1896 by the Chinese ambassador Li Hung Chang's chef for his American guests at a dinner?
Waldorf salad?
Chop suey, the deadly poison ricin, is obtained from the seeds of which plant?
Pass.
Which singer's real name is Florian Claude de Bonneville Armstrong, though a professional name has only 4 letters?
Dido.
Yes, the winners of which annual sporting event in the United States are presented with the Vince Lombardi Trophy?
Pass.
In which English city does the GMEX Exhibition Centre occupy the site of the former Central Railway Station?
Manchester.
Yes, who, according to the Book of Judges, demolished the great Philistine temple of the god Dagon at Gaza, destroying his captors and himself?
Samson?
Yes, which word meaning forbidden has come into the English language from the Tongan word for unclean?
Pass.
Which American politician who died in 1998 was notorious for his segregationist views and made 2 strong bids for the presidency?
Wallace.
Yes, what is the SI unit of electrical inductance?
Pass.
The male members of which former pop group collaborated with Tim Rice on the musical Chess?
Take that.
ABBA. What in Anglo-Saxon England was the third?
Parliament.
No, Army. Which British actor was nominated for a Best Actor Oscar for his role in the 2003 film Cold Mountain?
Pass.
Aphonia is the medical term for the loss of what?
Hearing.
Voice. In yoga, what name is given to the position where a person sits cross-legged with their feet on their thighs and their arms resting on their knees?
Lotus position.
The lotus position it is. You had 6 passes. Jude Law was in Cold Mountain. Henry is the SI unit of electrical inductance. Taboo is the word
Yes,
meaning
of course,
forbidden,
yes.
of course. The Super Bowl is the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Ricin comes from the castor oil plant, and Faye Weldon wrote "Go to work on an egg." 6 passes. Paula Keaveney, 20 points. So, at the end of the game, let's have a look at the scores. In joint 3rd place with 15 points, Andy Cobley and Norman McGregor Edwards. In 2nd place with 20 points, Paula Keaveney. In 1st place, he held on with 23 points, Eliot Wilson. Means, of course, that he goes through to the 2nd round. Congratulations to him. Do join us next week for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Can you rise to the challenge? The Mastermind quiz book is available from BBC Books. Tonight on BBC Two, the man behind the myths, the story of notorious Roman Emperor Caligula with Mary Beard is at 9.